But I must say that we are very fortunate that we have someone like you who's leading this initiative, someone with your stature. Because the enormity of this task that you're about to partake in is an amazing first start. I think it's a great beginning to this great initiative. But my question is, what next? Because people have short memories. Once you move on, they will move on too. Since we are all creatures of habit, we will be back to our mindless living unless this new order becomes a habit too. I'm sure you'll agree with that.
See, what the movement is trying to achieve is just this. The movement is trying to bring a policy change in 192 democratically elected governments in the world.
Right.
Why this policy change? People keep asking me, Sadhguru, what can I do? Can I fix my garden? Can I go plant a tree? I said, don't do anything. When you are a citizen in a democratic nation, there are two things which are very powerful, your vote and your voice. Your vote, I do not know whether you cast it or not, but your voice is important. Today, everybody has a voice because of technology, because of social media platforms. I'm saying use your voice. What we want people to do is, from 21st of March, for 100 days, everybody speak about soil. At least spend 5–10 minutes a day to speak about soil, enhance the message, and we have a way of aggregating all these voices, and if it is over 3 to 3.5 billion people, that means 60% of the electorate has spoken. We are already in the process of writing to all the heads of state. We are sending a soil policy document, 100 ways or hundreds of ways as to how to regenerate soil in different regions, different soil types, different latitudinal positions, different economic conditions and different farming traditions. In all this, how to do, for each country we are writing a recommendation policy, which we are handing it over to all the heads of state through the United Nations. And apart from that, we are also writing to 730 political parties on the planet. We are urging them to make soil and ecology part of their election manifestos, part of their manifestos to whatever they wish to do, because it doesn't get in there, then it's not going to happen. For this to happen, see, after all, political parties and governments are trying to fulfill people's mandate.
Right.
So people have to speak. Till now, people have never spoken. So people have to speak. If 3 to 3.5 billion raise their voice and say, save soil at least once, this means political parties and governments cannot ignore that. They will not ignore the voice of 60% of the electorate, nobody will do that. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So what is next? Will we just leave it at this? No. We are signing MOUs with various nations. Even before I start the rally, I'm signing MOUs with about 9 nations in the Caribbean islands and those regions. And similar things will be done with many small nations. The big nations will know what to do, many of them are already beginning to do, plus we will urge them to do further. So I'm spending probably a month in South America meeting all the heads of state, another month in Africa meeting a whole lot of people, and another month in Australia and Asia, because we want to handhold small countries, and we are also establishing a group of 25-member scientific committee of of people who are knowledgeable about this, who can handhold small nations to go through the transformation. If by then, if UN agencies and governments and other financing bodies, if they handhold the small nations, very easily it will happen. We will see, but the most important thing is, it must go into the policy. Why it must go into the policy is, see, today you have, let us say, 100 acres of land, you are keeping it really well. What the next generation will do, you do not know, unless it goes into the policy. Only if it's in the policy, it will be maintained for generations to come, and that is what we are trying to achieve. Once we get into the policy, depending upon the direness of the situation, how bad the situation is, accordingly different nations will act at different speed. But no nation will go without acting once it is in this policy. Speed may vary from nation to nation depending upon various realities of that particular nation.
Right.